October the 13th, 2025. Guys, you're looking at the JPL model of Atlas 3i, and I've got it right here over Mars for a reason. It came in this way. It's going to dive through the ecliptic and then back out it through past Mars and towards Jupiter. Now, what was happening a few days ago, every instrument that could be turned towards Atlas was on it. And we're still waiting on information as far as images of what happened. Now, there's so much hype about Atlas, guys, and so much of it is pure nonsense that you almost hate to talk about it. These guys are getting big hits, good for them, but there's so much misinfo out there and speculation that really makes you almost not want to get involved in it. It's that bad. But I've got some information that I think is some of the best out there and definitely worth sharing. So let's go back a few days. We were all waiting for some information to come in. We had the Mars rover. We had the orbiter, which has the HiRISE camera on it. And that HiRISE camera is a bad boy. It can get very good pictures. It wasn't some of the one that we saw from one of the other, I think maybe European Space Agency or whatever it was. But people from all around the world, different space agencies, were watching the feeds coming from the different instruments. Now, as it got over Mars and everybody was looking up at it, the feed suddenly cut. It didn't just cut to NASA, it cut to ESA, it cut to HiRISE controllers, it cut to everyone anywhere watching it. And NASA is saying they're not putting up the new pictures that they got before the feed because of the government shutdown, which is kind of stupid. What is the ESA? What is their reason, the European Space Agency? Why aren't they? It's because, guys, some info has leaked out. Some data has come forward. Not any new pictures yet, but some of the data has. And what happened is the reason it got cut off is as the scientists were watching their monitors from different instruments, an object peeled off of the main section of Atlas's group. Just like Avi Loeb was talking about, could there be orbiters because it's in a retrograde orbit, which would be perfect if it was going to drop off orbiters or watchers or whatever they want to call it along this planetary line that it's going to, remember, close to Mars, close to Venus. It's about to go behind the sun before long, and it's going to come back out, I think, 6 weeks after that. And we will know more then. But some of the other data that came in there, guys, is that the object peeled off and that Atlas slightly deviated its path. The object didn't break apart and spin apart. It appeared to be something moving on its own, controlled. That's when it got shut down, right there. They can't get any more information from most people, or they're not letting it go. And again, HiRISE is a very good camera, so they were getting some good images. I mean, it shows it's orbiting around Mars, but sometimes they'll turn it towards the Earth and towards the Moon, and you get beautiful images. I'll show you one of those. But something peeled off at that point. When they saw that, they shut everyone down. They were watching for something like that to happen, as a matter of fact. Now, again, why we know that NASA's not sending us the information. They're saying because of the government shutdown, but that would have already been all part of the paid section of the shutdown. In other words, when this happened was about the same day as the shutdown. It's been going on about that long. Still no newer images. I've got one kind of grainy one that was not from HiRISE. But the one we do have before it got shut down, guys, is showing multiple objects that, again, one has peeled off from Atlas over Mars. Now, the planets are going around one way. Atlas is coming in from the other way. That was the perfect retrograde orbit that I said Avi Loeb said it would need to do this. Now, what's going to happen when it goes behind the sun? And what's going to happen? I think we got to maybe the 28th or something like that before it goes behind the sun. And then some are saying 6 weeks, some are saying less time than that before we start to see it from Earth. But this thing has already let one object off. And where's it going to go? Is that one going to park on Mars because it was released there? Will it drift into the inner solar system around something else? And I told you there's at least 20 objects in that group. Now there's one less in that, but it's traveling on its own. That's the information coming in now, and I think that is very important. It's not the hype, but you start seeing these so-called geologists and observers and all this, guys, and it's going to get near Earth, or it's all hype. A lot of people are backing off because some people that supposedly know what's going on are overhyping it, again, for clickbait and hits. That's not what I'm doing this. I want to know what it is as bad as anybody. But this new data coming in is important. It is starting to do, and most of us were skeptical of at first of what this could be. And so a lot of people are showing things. Some are showing one image, guys, that I saw it right when it first came out from a few weeks ago. It's showing Atlas moving through the night sky, and then way off to the right, two objects moving along with it. But if you watch that video very carefully, those are part of the camera reflection, the two to the right, because that camera comes back down as the reef sets, and the objects move with that, not with everything else going on. And it's not, the objects are not far away from Atlas at all. It's one group. I guarantee you, I saw the same thing happen with ISON. It wasn't as many, but there were multiple nuclei. That was a comet. This is not a comet. Now, where do we go from here? I don't know, but let me show you a couple of images. Now, this is just an illustration of a HiRISE over Mars, guys, and normally it's taking the best pictures we've ever got from Mars. It even, if you look up HiRISE, you'll see some of them that even show an avalanche on Mars while it was happening. Dust falling off like a crater's edge, and all of that beautiful close-up pictures. The one you've seen that are aerial came from HiRISE, except they turned the camera. They did it with several instruments around the planet. And they're all saying the signal got cut off at the same time. How would that happen? It would have to be from the people that are controlling this satellite and possibly a few other ones. And you also had ground-based telescopes involved. Not much information coming from that group at all either. Maybe they've been told to stand down. But it's almost as if they were expecting something like that to happen at that point. And when it did, they shut off information. Will we start getting real images in if the government comes back in and starts the funding programs back? And if we do, will they be real images? Are they going to continue to hide this? Guarantee you they are watching every move Atlas is making right now, and they're going to feed us the information as they see fit, not as it's supposed to be a little more transparency in this, because a lot of funding for these projects comes from taxpayer money, not all of it. So it should be more transparency. But what are they hiding? What would they not want us to know? Of course, everyone says they wouldn't want you to panic or anything like that, but this is not supposed to come close to our planet. But if it keeps dropping off objects in a retrograde, we don't know what's going where yet. But I think this is a great first bit of information that's being, and I guarantee you this is coming from people that were there, whistleblowers. And I'm not going to call any names or anything else. It's not, I don't want them to lose their jobs. But that's the information coming in. A couple of other people, one other one, also got that info. So that's what we have now. It has dropped off an object passing over Mars, and of course, they already said that Atlas has sped up. And they're saying that the movement of it is very unusual. It's not following the laws of physics for any other object like a comet. But the test will be behind the sun as far as the Earth is concerned. And a lot of our satellites that and people are saying, "Well, can't they turn to the ones that look at the sun and all that?" Those satellites are highly filtered, guys, because if they weren't, it would be a blinding light. That would be all you got. And if you look at LASCO C2 and C3, they have that round disk over the center of the sun. You don't see it, you just see what's happening around it because of the brightness. So a lot of the instruments cannot be turned right into the sun. It will destroy the optics. So you can't just turn everything there. But we're getting more and more information. Again, something has been dropped off close to the Mars orbit. We're watching it, guys. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.